Okay, it's quite a good number of students. It's around 39. Let others come late. I will start. Okay. Huh. So last time we were discussing about opium poisoning. We have seen opium and morphine. Okay, so opium and morphine. So opium and its derivatives, opium, morphine, they all are mainly used therapeutically in the treatment for uh, inducing the sleep and as uh, analgesics. So they are therapeutically used to reduce the pain and to induce the sleep. So it's alkaloids, that is phenanthrene, which is responsible for narcotic effect, and isoquinoline is responsible for analgesic effect. And then we have seen these yesterday. I have told you about these images also. Now we'll see signs and symptoms. Signs and symptoms. The poisoning of opium passes through the three stages. Stage of excitement, where all the higher centers will be stimulated, and patient will have pleasurable mental excitement that will remain for a very short period. It will be followed by stage of super, where patient will have headache, giddiness, wet sensation in the limbs, and strong tendency to sleep, from which the patient can be aroused by external stimuli, and itching can also be there. Pupils will be constricted. Then third very important stage is stage of narcosis, where the patient goes into deep coma, from which patient cannot be aroused even with the painful stimulus. All the muscles will be relaxed, reflexes will be lost, pinpoint pupil will be there which is not reacting to the light, blood pressure will fall, Cheyne-Stokes breathing will be there, and there can be asphyxia because of respiratory paralysis. Now we have seen the differential diagnosis also. So important differential diagnoses are cerebrovascular accident, cerebrovascular accident where patient can have paralysis because of disturbed blood supply of some part of the brain, in which the patient can become suddenly unconscious. But in a cerebrovascular accident, patient will have history of hypertension, or the pupils were unequal and noisy breathing, and body temperature will also be increased, which will not be seen in opium poisoning. Then metabolic comas or metabolic conditions which can lead to sudden unconsciousness are uremic coma, that is increased blood urea level because of renal failure, where the patient will have history of some kidney disease, and diabetic coma, where the patient will have history of diabetes. And here the clinical differentiation will be smell of the breath, where in uremic coma patient will have uriniferous smell, and in diabetic coma the smell will be sweetish disagreeable odor. And alcohol poisoning, again there will be smell of the breath will be characteristic. Pupils will be dilated, that is massive one sign seen only in alcohol poisoning. Then carbolic acid poisoning and organophosphorus poisoning. In organophosphorus poisoning, again smell of that particular insecticide or whatever the organophosphorus preparation or compound that person has swallowed, uh, kerosene or garlicky smell. Then fatal dose we have seen, fatal period. Then treatment part also we have seen. So treatment should be given very cautiously. Patient should not be allowed to sleep. Make the patient walk, or keep on talking with the patient. You can go for potassium permanganate stomach wash with potassium permanganate, and if the opium is given by injection, then also you should go for stomach wash, because some amount is also excreted in the stomach. Then kidneys and skin should be stimulated for the excretion of poison through the urine as well as through the sweat. Then we have seen all these allopathic medicines yesterday. In case of respiratory depression, you can go for artificial respiration, then antibiotics to prevent the secondary infection. Now we will go to this. I think we had completed up to here. Now we'll see post-mortem appearance. If any person dies by opium poison, if any person dies by opium poisoning, how the body will look? What will be the characteristic features? So post-mortem appearance, externally there will be smell of the opium. Then face is deeply cyanosed, and that is very characteristic, not found in any other poison. The face or body will be deeply cyanosed, or the face will become black in color, and in post-mortem lividity is also black. That fingers are fingernails are blue because of failing circulation. Veins in the neck are distended at angles, and just what I told, post-mortem lividity is also intense and black. What is post-mortem lividity? The blood moving on the dependent parts of the body into toneless capillaries. So this blood will be dark in color. So post-mortem lividity will also be dark, not seen in any other type of death or any other poison. And there will be frothing from mouth. Now, what internally you find if the body has been opened, if the body has been dissected during postmortem examination, what internal changes will find? This trachea, bronchi, lungs, and brain will show venous congestion. Trachea and bronchi are covered with froth. Lungs are edematous. They all are because of asphyxia. And blood is dark and more fluid. And intense lividity on the face, intense lividity on the face, that is black colored lividity, पूर्ण चेहरा काळा होऊन जातो. Intense lividity of the face, that is black colored lividity, is rarely seen in any other poison. What I just told you, it is the characteristic feature, diagnostic feature of opium poisoning. Intense lividity of the face will become dark black in color. Now, medical legal aspect, how the opium poisoning can occur. Now, just we have seen in the introductory part, opium is widely used for inducing the sleep as well as to relieve the pain. It is used as an analgesic. So, opium and its preparations are widely used therapeutically to relieve the pain and to induce the sleep. झोप येण्यासाठी किंवा वेदनाशामक म्हणून ओपियमची बरीचशी प्रिपरेशन दे आर इझिली अवेलेबल in the medical stores, and also freely available on prescription of a doctor also. It is easily obtained in India, therefore it is the poison of choice for suicide. If any person wants to commit the suicide, the person will prefer opium or morphine because it is easily available. Opium mixed with mustard oil or ginger oil, it acts quickly and difficult to remove from stomach. If it is taken mixed with the mustard oil or ginger oil, its action is very rapid, and also it is difficult to be removed from stomach. And morphine is also used by injection. It is also taken through injection for suicidal purpose. So opium is black in color, characteristic odor and bitter taste. Because of its dark black color, characteristic odor and bitter taste, it cannot be used for homicidal purpose. मतलब अगर किसी को poisoning करके मारना है तो ओपियम नहीं दे सकते बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स दैट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ओडर एंड बिटर टेस्ट, किसी को देना वो आसान नहीं है. एंड इट इज ऑल्सो समटाइम्स यूज फॉर इन्फेंटिसाइड. व्हाट इज इन्फेंटिसाइड? किलिंग द न्यूबॉर्न बेबी. अगर अभी अभी बच्चे जन्म हुआ है बच्चे का और उसे अगर मारना है तो it is this opium is used. So opium is used sometimes for killing the newborn infant. Infants and children are very susceptible to the action of opium. Breastfeeding by a woman who has smeared her nipple with opium tincture means what? That the mother will put a few drops of opium on her nipple and will make the baby to suck. So what will happen? Those few drops of the opium that have been put on the nipple while sucking, that opium will go into the stomach of the baby and baby will die. So it is also used by a breastfeeding woman with when that opium is smeared her nipple. Then another medical legal aspect is accidental poisoning of by opium. Accidental poisoning by opium. It generally happens in case of opium addicts. Opium addicts means, just we have seen, it is used as an analgesic and also it is used as a स्लिपिंग पिल. झोपेसाठी किंवा पेन किलर म्हणून ते कॉमनली घेतलं जातं. बट ॲक्सिडेंटली एखादा माणूस चांगली झोप येण्यासाठी किंवा analgesic effect साठी it can be accidentally consumed in large dose, and which can be equal to the fatal dose of the opium. So accidental ingestion or accidental overdose in case of opium addicts, just we have seen in fatal dose and fatal period also. If the person is not addicted to opium, not addicted to opium, त्याचा fatal dose कमी असेल, and if any person is addicted to opium, त्याचा fatal dose जास्त असेल, म्हणजे जास्त प्रमाणात घेतलं तरच त्याचा इफेक्ट होईल. त्याचप्रमाणे जर तो रोज ओपीएम घेत असेल चांगली झोप येण्यासाठी, तर काय होईल, म्हणजे त्याच्या नेहमीच्या रेग्युलर डोसने त्याला कदाचित झोप येणार नाही. दॅट्स वाय दॅट पर्सन कॅन टेक लार्जर डोस, अँड दिस लार्जर डोस कॅन कॉज ॲक्सिडेंटल पॉयझनिंग. सो दॅट इज कॉमन इन केस ऑफ ओपीएम ॲडिक्ट्स. लेबर वुमेन, म्हणजे कामावर जाणाऱ्या ज्या महिला असतात रोजंदारीवर, कामावर जाणाऱ्या ज्या महिला असतात, त्यांना बऱ्याच वेळा मुलांचा त्रास होतो. सारखी सारखी मुलं उठतात, खेळतात, त्रास देतात. मग त्या स्त्रिया काय करतात, बाळाला थोडंसं ओपीएमचं टिंक्चर देतात आणि झोपवतात. मग बाळ एकदा का कुठं झाडाखाली कुठेतरी झोपलं की यांचं दिवसभर काम चालू राहतं. बट accidentally that large dose if given accidentally to the children, that can cause death of the baby. So labor women who are using the opium uh, to make their children sleep during the work, in these children the accidental poisoning can occur because of the large dose. Another evidence from the history, Rajput fighters, Rajput fighters used to take the opium before the actual fight, म्हणजे मैदानावर, रणांगणावर युद्धभूमीवर जाण्याच्या आधी ओपीएमचे काही डोस घ्यायचे हे राजपूत फायटर्स. का तर त्याचा पहिला जो स्टिम्युलंट इफेक्ट असतो, स्टिम्युलंट इफेक्ट, व्हॉट वी हॅव सीन, the opium poisoning passes through the three stages, so that excitatory effect on the nervous system. Because of that effect, it was previously taken just before going to the actual fight. So Rajput fighters used to take the opium just before going to on the field, but it could have caused the accidental poisoning and even death. Then increased libido, that is to increase the sexual desire, to increase the sexual power. This opium is previously it was used, and it can accidentally cause the overdose and poisoning. So in all these cases there can be poisoning by overdose of opium. So this is about the medico legal aspect. So important medico legal aspects are, it is commonly available all over the India, and it is therapeutically used to relieve the pain and induce the sleep. So it can be easily obtained from medical stores and all. That's why it is the poison of choice for society. So what are the characteristic features of ideal homicidal poison, and what are the characteristic features of ideal suicidal poison. So this opium is also an ideal suicidal poison because it is cheap, easily available, painless death, and the interval between consumption and death, the fatal period is very small. Fatal dose is also very small, so it is also a suicidal poison of choice. So what is the another suicidal poison of choice that we have studied? What is the another suicidal poison that we have studied? Ideal suicidal poison. One we have completed. Okay, anyone remembers ideal homicidal poison? आइडियल होमिसाइडल पॉइजन, अगर किसी को पॉइजनिंग करके मारना है तो कौन सा पॉइजन हम सिलेक्ट करेंगे मारने के लिए? वी हैव कंप्लीटेड वन फ्रॉम द प्रीवियस पॉइजन्स. नो वन? Not a single student. It shows how much you people study. Ideal suicidal poison and ideal homicidal poison. Anyone? No, not a single. Okay, it's homework for you. Tomorrow I will ask what is the ideal characteristic of ideal suicidal poison with example, and characteristic of ideal homicidal poison with example. So tomorrow I will ask at the suicidal or homicidal. Next, Somika, ideal suicidal or ideal homicidal? Hydrocyanic acid. Hydrocyanic acid. Ideal suicidal or ideal homicidal? Why? So what are so what are the characteristic feature of ideal suicidal poison? कौन सा poison हम suicide करने के लिए इस्तेमाल करेंगे? Yes, then death has to be painless. Fatal dose small, tasteless, fatal period small. It has to be easily available, cheap, and it should be preferably orally taken. These are the characteristic of ideal suicidal poison. So, any example of ideal homicidal poison? That we have already completed. One poison we have already completed. किसी को अगर poisoning करके मारना है तो कौन सा poison prefer करोगे? उसका fatal period कैसा होना चाहिए? छोटा कि बड़ा? क्यों? हाँ, so it has to be cheap, easily available, preferably taken by mouth, that is, it should be given by oral route. Then its fatal dose should be long. Its fatal dose should be long. So these are the characteristic of ideal suicidal and ideal homicidal poison. So any example of ideal homicidal poison? That is arsenic. Ideal homicidal poison is arsenic. Arsenic is commonly used for killing someone. Okay, then okay, all these are the medical legal aspect. So next poison group of poisons we will see inebriant poisons. So here we have seen one sedative this narcotic poison, one opium we have seen narcotic poison. Now the next group of poison is in all these are the sub classification of these narcotics, inebriants and all these are the sub classification of what, which group of the poison? Cerebral poison, which are acting on the nervous system. All these are cerebral poison. So next group in the cerebral poison or neurotics, particularly neurotics are, we have seen these narcotics. Now we will go into next group of poison, that is inebriant poisons. So inebriant poisons, again there are two sets of symptoms. Inebriant poison clinically shows the two stages, that is excitement, initial stage of excitement, that is well marked in some inebriant poisons and not so marked in others, and another stage is narcosis, where the patient, all the centers will get depressed. So what are the three stages in opium poisoning? Stage of excitement, then stage of super and stage of coma. And in inebriant poison there are only two stages. There are only two stages of the poisoning in case of inebriant poisons: stage of excitement seen in some poisons and stage of narcosis, which is well marked in others. And classical inebriant poison is alcohol. The very good example of inebriant poison is alcohol. It is very commonly seen poisoning, that is alcohol poisoning. And other inebriant poisons are anesthetics. Anesthetics examples are ether and chloroform. Sedatives or hypnotic म्हणजे झोपेच्या गोळ्या injection. Sedatives and hypnotics will also come under inebriant poisons. They are barbiturates. Fuels like kerosene. Kerosene also causes poisoning. And insecticides are OPP, organophosphorus compound, that we have already seen in short in differential diagnosis of opium poisoning. So it can be a case of organophosphorus poisoning, can be misdiagnosed as opium poisoning. So opium poisoning is under inebriants. So anesthetics, sedatives and hypnotics, fuels and insecticides like organophosphorus compounds, chlorinated compound like DDT powder, coal tar products like naphthalene. Naphthalene also causes poisoning. So these all are insecticides, and all these four are the classification, or they will fall under inebriant poison. So inebriants are anesthetics जे आपण भुलीसाठी वापरतो, sedatives and hypnotics झोपेसाठी वापरतो, fuels and insecticides. These are the sub classification of inebriant poison. So if inebriant poison is not asked as a 20 mark question, there can be 5 mark short note, as well as there can be 2 mark questions. give examples of inebriants like this. So you'll have to give 3 4 examples like this, anesthetics and all. So can be asked as a 2 mark question. So we'll see in detail today. We'll see in detail about alcohol poisoning. We'll see about alcohol poisoning. Okay, okay, let's see. Alcohol poisoning. So, any intoxicating drink is called as alcohol. So, any intoxicating drink that will cause intoxication, acting on the central nervous system, it will cause intoxication. So, any drink which is intoxicating is called as alcohol, and commonly used alcohol from toxicological point of view, methyl and ethyl alcohol are most common. तर आता आपण ही जी काही अल्कोहोल पाहतो मार्केटमध्ये हे रम, विस्की, ब्रँडी, जीन काय वगैरे जे काही दारूचे वेगवेगळे प्रकार आहेत की दारू म्हणून जी पिली जाते कॉमनली, विच अल्कोहोल इट इज? वेन यू कॉल अल्कोहोल, वेन यू कॉल अल्कोहोल इट इज, खालच्या ओळीत आहे ना उत्तर त्याचं लगेच. द टर्म अल्कोहोल इन पॉप्युलर यूज मीन्स इथाईल अल्कोहोल. सो इथाईल, आपण हे जे मार्केटमध्ये वेगवेगळे अल्कोहोलचे प्रकार पाहतो, रम असेल, विस्की असेल, काय बरेच प्रकार काय 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 असतात, माझ्यापेक्षा तुम्हाला चांगली माहिती असतील कदाचित. तर हे जे काही अल्कोहोलचे प्रकार असतात, दे ऑल कंटेन इथाईल अल्कोहोल. सो दे इज ऑल आर इथाईल अल्कोहोल. एनीवन हॅज टेस्टेड or anyone has experienced? नाही अजून कोणीच नाही असेल. अरे असेल कोणीतरी अनुभव घेतलेला एखादा. बरं घ्या घ्या, थर्ड फोर्थ इयरला वगैरे घ्या नंतर. ओके, सो द टर्म अल्कोहोल, when we use the term alcohol, it is to be considered as ethyl alcohol. So the pure ethyl, will see the physical properties. Pure ethyl alcohol is transparent, colorless and volatile. Volatile म्हणजे उघड्यावर ठेवलं तुम्ही तर ते उडून जाईल, वेपर्स होऊन उडून जाईल. सो pure ethyl alcohol is transparent, colorless and volatile, and it is having spirituous odor. Spirituous odor and burning taste. म्हणजे अशी जिभेला घशाला चुरचूर होते, अशी आग झाल्यासारखी. दॅट इज बर्निंग टेस्ट. असं म्हणतात, बुकमध्ये दिले म्हणून सांगतोय, मला माहित नाही कशी असते टेस्ट त्याची. ओके, सो दिस प्युअर इथाईल अल्कोहोल इज ट्रान्सपरंट, कलरलेस, उघड्यावर ठेवलं तर त्याच्या फ्युम्स होतात, उडून जातं लगेच ते. व्होलाटाईल लिक्विड अँड हॅव्हिंग स्पिरिच्युअस ओडर. तुम्ही त्या फिजिओपॅथो फार्मसी लॅबमध्ये ते स्पिरिट लॅम्प वापरता ना, त्या स्पिरिटचा अल्कोहोलचा कसा वास असतो. सो दॅट कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक स्मेल. आता किंवा सॅनिटायझर, सॅनिटायझरमध्ये काय असतं, आता तुम्ही हात धुता ना सॅनिटायझरने, सॅनिटायझरमध्ये काय असतं, it contains alcohol. Alcohol. Now different percentages are there, 70%, 80%, like that. So it is diluted a bit, so that 70 or 80% dilutions are prepared. So this pure ethyl, undiluted pure ethyl alcohol is transparent, colorless and volatile liquid. It is obtained, आता कसं तयार करतात, it is obtained by enzymatic fermentation of carbohydrates, but sugar and starch. The raw materials like cereals, corn, barley, jaggery, molasses, potatoes, fruit. तुम्हाला माहिती आहे कशा कशापासून दारू, वाईन बनवली जाते किंवा हे अल्कोहोल बनवलं जातं. धान्यापासून बनवतात, मक्यापासून बनवतात, गुळापासून, मळीपासून. साखर कारखाने सुद्धा बाय प्रॉडक्ट म्हणून अल्कोहोल तयार करतात ना. सो दॅट इज प्रिपेअर्ड फ्रॉम दिस मोलॅसेस, मळी, पोटॅटो, फ्रूट्स, कुठल्याही फळापासून की ज्याच्यामध्ये साखरेचं प्रमाण आहे बऱ्यापैकी जास्त, कार्बोहायड्रेट, ते फर्मेंट करून, एन्झायमॅटिक फर्मेंटेशन, एन्झाईमच्या मदतीने फर्मेंटेशन करून the alcohol is extracted from that. So this alcohol is prepared by enzymatic fermentation of carbohydrate from raw materials like cereals, uh, potatoes, fruits, jaggery and all. So it is prepared from fruits. Now we'll see uh, what happens when the alcohol enters the body. First of all, absorption. ते कसं ॲब्सॉर्ब होईल, देन डिटॉक्झिकेशन, त्याचे टॉक्झिक इफेक्ट कसे न्यूट्रलाइज केले जातील बॉडीकडून, म्हणजे बॉडीकडून प्रयत्न केला जाईल ना, तर शरीरावर कुठलाही त्याचे दुष्परिणाम होऊ नयेत म्हणून बॉडी विल ट्राय टू detoxify the alcohol and will try to excrete it. So in these three stages it will enter the body, will be detoxicated and ultimately excreted from the body. So ethyl alcohol is a small hydrophilic molecule. Ethyl alcohol is a small hydrophilic molecule and it is rapidly absorbed from gastrointestinal tract as well as alveoli. म्हणजे तुम्ही अल्कोहोलच्या नुसत्या फ्यूम जरी इनहेल केल्या, अल्कोहोलचा वास येतोय, प्युअर स्पिरिट असं कुठेतरी ओपन ठेवलेलं आहे, त्याचा तुम्ही असा वास जरी घेतला, it will be rapidly absorbed across the alveoli. After consumption or after taken orally, it will be absorbed rapidly from gastrointestinal tract and also from the alveoli when it is inhaled. So absorption from gastrointestinal tract is affected by certain points that we'll see. First is concentration of alcohol. So more concentrated it is, rapid will be the absorption. म्हणजे किती dilute केलेला आहे. Then food in the stomach. फूड म्हणजे जर उपाशीपोटी आता तुम्ही बघितलं असेल, माहीत नाही तुम्ही बघितले ऐकले की नाही, उपाशीपोटी जर दारू घेतली तर पटकन चढते, आणि खाल्लेलं असेल, पोट भरलेलं असेल, जेवणानंतर जर दारू घेतली तर पटकन त्याची नशा येत नाही, पटकन चढत नाही. सो द फूड प्रेझेंट इन द स्टमक विल डिले द ॲब्सॉर्प्शन ऑफ द अल्कोहोल फ्रॉम स्टमक. सो इफ द अल्कोहोल हॅज बीन टेकन ॲट एम्प्टी स्टमक, पटकन किक बसते, पटकन चढते. and if the food is present in the stomach, its absorption will be delayed. Then condition of the stomach like gastritis, it will increase the absorption. Rate of drinking म्हणजे किती स्पीडनी पितोय, 2 पेग मध्ये किती अंतर आहे, 2 पेग मध्ये किती अंतर आहे आणि किती फास्ट पितोय, it will also decide. Should I start? Should I continue? Should I continue? Can you hear me, everyone? Okay, we will continue. 38 students are back. Okay, I will continue. So, concentration of alcohol. Now, again discussing this concentration of alcohol in rum, whiskey, brandy, gin, vodka, the percentage of alcohol is very high. So, it is around something 40-45% like that. And what is the percentage of alcohol in the beer? Anyone? What is the percentage of alcohol in the beer? It is less or more? लेस, इट इज़ अराउंड 9, 10, 11%। उसमें भी कुछ वैरायटी रहते हैं, माइल्ड स्ट्रॉन्ग वगैरह कुछ तो रहता है ना, कुछ तो माइल्ड स्ट्रॉन्ग वगैरह ऐसा कुछ तो रहता है। तो इट इज़ अराउंड 9, 10, 11% वगैरह अल्कोहल रहता है उसमें, द बियर। And those rum, whiskey and all, they contain quite high percentage of alcohol. So more is the concentration of alcohol, more will be the poisonous effect. Then presence of food in the stomach, just I told you, if the alcohol has been taken at empty stomach, uh, 1 second. Okay, so if the alcohol has been taken at empty stomach, its action will be very rapid because it will be rapidly absorbed. Its absorption is interrupted or delayed by presence of food in the stomach. Rate of drinking, quality of alcohol, just I told you, quality of alcohol, whether it is beer, rum, brandy. And another important thing about the quality, certain varieties like Deshi, Hadbhatti and all, so that is quality of alcohol. So काही काही अशा चांगल्या ब्रँडेड, चांगल्या क्वालिटीच्या खूप महाग पण असतात त्या, म्हणजे त्या किती पिल्या तरी पेशंटला ते नंतर त्या माणसाला नंतर हँगओव्हर, दुसऱ्या दिवशी हँगओव्हर होत नाही किंवा बाकीचा काही त्रास होत नाही. दॅट इज बिकॉज ऑफ दॅट क्वालिटी ऑफ द अल्कोहोल. आणि अगदीच खराब चीप प्रिपरेशन जे असतात त्याने दुसऱ्या दिवशी सकाळी उलट्या होतात, डोकं दुखतं, व्हॉट वी कॉल इट ॲज अ हँगओव्हर इफेक्ट. सो दिस क्वालिटी ऑफ अल्कोहोल will also decide its effects or action. Then weight of the person and टॉलरन्स यापूर्वी कधीही घेतलेली नसेल, पहिल्यांदाच घेतली तर काय होईल, पहिल्यांदाच घेतली तर अल्कोहोलचा इफेक्ट जास्त येईल. सो द फीचर्स or the signs and symptoms of alcohol poisoning will be severe in case of the person who has never ever taken the alcohol before this. आणि जो रोज घेतोय, म्हणजे ज्याला सवय, रोज दारू पितोय 2-4 दिवसांनी, रोज दारू पिणारा आहे, त्याला अगदी किती पिला तरी एवढा काही इफेक्ट येत नाही. सो दिस टॉलरन्स विल ऑल्सो डिसाइड द टॉक्सिक इफेक्ट ऑफ द पॉइझन. So that is tolerance. Then after absorption, so this is about the so okay, we are looking into the 3 stages: absorption, detoxification and excretion. So after absorption, alcohol is widely distributed in all the tissues, and fluids except fatty tissues. म्हणजे फक्त फॅटी टिश्यू मध्ये आणि बोन्स मध्ये अल्कोहोल जाणार नाही, otherwise it is carried or it is distributed to all the tissues and fluids. Then concentration of alcohol in the blood is maximum in 1 to 1.5 hour after ingestion. पिल्यानंतर साधारण 1 ते 1.5 तासामध्ये its concentration is highest in the blood. Absorbed alcohol is metabolized chiefly by the liver. Now you know, दारू पिणाऱ्या माणसाचं सगळ्यात पहिल्यांदा कुठला ऑर्गन खराब होतो, काय होतं दारू पिणाऱ्या माणसाला सर्वात पहिला त्रास कसला होतो? हाँ, liver, because alcohol is a hepatotoxic poison. You can write in your list hepatotoxic poisons, arsenic and this alcohol also. So because alcohol, whatever the alcohol that has been consumed, whatever the alcohol that has been swallowed, it will be carried to the liver for detoxification. तर त्याच्यात टॉक्सिक इफेक्ट सगळे काढून टाकण्याच्या प्रयत्नामध्ये काय होतं, लिव्हरवरच परिणाम होतो. सो लिव्हर विल बी अफेक्टेड. सो this absorbed alcohol is metabolized by the liver by the process of oxidation. Normally body can metabolize 10 gram of alcohol, that is 1 ounce whiskey. 1 ounce whiskey साधारण 30 ml. 30 ml whiskey मध्ये 10 ग्रॅम अल्कोहोल असतं. अँड इन 1 hour, इफ इनटेक एक्सिड्स दिस मेजर, म्हणजे एखादा माणूस एकेका तासाने 30-30 ml विस्की जर पित असेल, एकेका तासाने 30-30 ml विस्की जर पित असतील, तर त्याच्यामध्ये असे ते अल्कोहोल पॉइझनिंगचे किंवा अल्कोहोलच्या नशेचे इफेक्ट येणार नाहीत, कारण पुढचा डोस किंवा त्यांनी पुढचा पेग घेईपर्यंत 1 तासाने काय होते, आधीच्या पेगचा सगळा इफेक्ट निघून जातो. सो normally body can metabolize 10 gram, that is 1 ounce of whiskey in 1 hour. If the intake exceeds this measure, म्हणजे तो अगदी 15-15 मिनिटांनी, अर्ध्या तासाने एक पेग घेत असेल, तर काय होईल, ब्लड अल्कोहोल विल राईज अँड साइन्स अँड सिम्पटम्स विल बी डेव्हलप. कळते का? साधारण 1 ounce म्हणजे 30 ml, 30-35 ml विस्की जर तो एका वेळेस घेत असेल एका पेगमध्ये आणि 1 तासाने, it will not cause poisonous effect, but blood alcohol will rise considerably and will give rise to the signs and symptoms. म्हणजे आता आपण म्हणतो ना, दारू चढली का, बिकॉज हिज फ्रिक्वेन्सी इज हाय. जेवढ्या प्रमाणात मेटाबोलाइज होऊन किंवा डिटॉक्सिफाय होण्याची प्रक्रिया आहे त्याच्यापेक्षा जास्त स्पीडली आणि जास्त क्वांटिटीमध्ये जर तो माणूस दारू पित असेल तर the signs and symptoms should be developed. So if intake exceeds this measure of metabolism of alcohol, the blood alcohol level will rise and signs and symptoms of alcohol poisoning will be developed. And maximum about 300 ml, maximum of 300 ml alcohol is metabolized within 24 hours. So poisoning, we'll see the how the alcohol poisoning occurs. Ethyl alcohol, that alcohol people consume commonly, that is ethyl alcohol depresses the central nervous system right from cortex to the medulla. अगदी cortex पासून medulla पर्यंत सगळ्याच depression होतं alcoholनी. So ethyl alcohol depresses the central nervous system from cortex to the medulla, and it first depresses the higher centers which control the judgment and behavior. Judgment and behavior control करणारे जे centers असतात they will be depressed, and that's why in this stage patient will have stage of excitement. Then the motor centers will be paralyzed, motor centers will be affected, leading to stage of incoordination. म्हणजे त्याला सरळ चालता येणार नाही. You know what are the signs and symptoms of alcohol poisoning? Because of incoordination of the muscles, because of paralysis of the motor centers, there will be stage of incoordination, and finally the vital centers in the medulla will be affected, leading to stage of narcosis. So the poisoning will pass through these stages: stage of excitement because of depression of judgment and behavior controlling centers, and ultimately will go into stage of narcosis. So range between the dose producing narcosis and dose impairing the vital function is very small. म्हणजे काही लोकांमध्ये ज्या डोसने फक्त नार्कोसिस होणार आहे तो डोस वेगळा असेल, जास्त वेगळा नसेल, आणि in some people who are going to be affected by impairing the vital function त्या डोसमध्ये म्हणजे खूप जास्त फरक नसेल. सो रेंज बिटवीन द डोस प्रोड्युसिंग नार्कोसिस and the dose producing the or impairing the vital function is very small. म्हणजे काही खूप जास्त फरक असतो असं नाही. So where there is very, you can say, very thin margin between these fatal doses. So acute poisoning, alcohol poisoning, we see acute poisoning. Consumption of any preparation containing alcohol in small doses or short interval or in one big dose. Just I told you, 30 ml विस्की जर एक तासापेक्षा जास्त अंतराने पीत असेल तो तर काही टॉक्सिक इफेक्ट येणार नाही. पण 30 ml विस्की तो दर 10-15 मिनिटाला, दर 15 मिनिटाला पेग रिपीट करत असेल तर व्हॉट विल हॅपन? The blood alcohol level will rise very rapidly and signs and symptoms of alcohol poisoning will appear. So it is small doses. Consumption of any preparation containing alcohol in small doses at short interval, थोड्या थोड्या अंतराने घेतलं, मेटाबॉलिझम पहिल्या डोसचं पूर्ण मेटाबॉलिझम व्हायच्या आत. So if the alcohol has been consumed in small doses at short interval, किंवा दुसरा एक प्रकार आहे वन बिग डोस, म्हणजे एकाच वेळेस अख्खी बाटली पिऊन टाकली एखाद्याने, सो दॅट विल बी कन्झम्पशन ऑफ one big dose. In both the cases alcohol poisoning will occur. So either small doses repeatedly or one big dose will cause the alcohol poisoning. The symptoms are variable and they are because of depression of central nervous system. We have seen these three stages: stage of excitement, incoordination and narcosis. So and the symptoms will vary from person to person and also upon the tolerance. पहिल्यांदाच घेतली आहे की रोज घेतोय, नेहमीची सवय आहे, accordingly the symptoms will develop. So symptoms are variable and they are because of depression of the central nervous system, and symptoms are early in mentally or physically fatigue. म्हणजे एखादा माणूस खूप थकलेला असेल, काहीतरी दिवसभर खूप काहीतरी टेन्शनचं काम केले, ऑफिसमध्ये काहीतरी खूप टेन्शन ताणतणाव आहे, किंवा फिजिकली फटीग, दिवसभर खूप कष्टाचे कामं करून दमलाय, अशा एखाद्या माणसाने एक पेग पिला तरी तो लगेच शांत झोपून जातो लगेच अंडर द इन्फ्लुएन्स ऑफ अल्कोहोल. सो सिम्पटम्स विल बी अर्ली इन मेंटली ऑर फिजिकली फटीग. इपिलेप्टिक म्हणजे एखाद्या माणसाला इपिलेप्सिक कन्व्हल्जनची हिस्ट्री असेल, हेड इंजुरी असेल, or barbiturate or any other CNS depressant if it has been taken along with the alcohol. म्हणजे अल्कोहोल स्मॉल डोसमध्ये पण त्याच्याबरोबर एखादी झोपेची गोळी किंवा बार्बिच्युरेट घेतलं, the effect of the alcohol and effect of the barbiturate will be increased, causing what is that condition called? If alcohol and barbiturate are taken in sublethal dose, in small dose togetherly at a time, and both of them will increase each other's toxic effect, that condition is called as, anyone? No, we have discussed it so many times, and also in the chapter factors modifying action of the poison. Factors modifying action of the poison, we have seen in that. आठवते का? Anyone? I will show you. I will make you remember. You people have got very poor memory. Poor memory म्हणण्यापेक्षा तुम्ही वाचतच नाही अजिबात. I will show you the answer. I will not tell you the answer. One second. हा. हॅव यू गॉट द व्हॉट आय हॅड आस्क यू, त्याचं उत्तर मिळालं का आता तुम्हाला? ह्या स्लाइडवर बघा बरं, कुठं आहे का उत्तर त्याचं? टू पॉइझनस सबस्टन्सेस इफ दे हॅव बीन टेकन. What is synergism? When two poisonous substances are taken in sublethal dose at a time in combination, they will increase each other's action. That is called as synergism. आठवलं का? आठवलं ना? छान, व्हेरी गुड. तुम्ही पोरं माठी आहेत, अभ्यास नको करायला. ओके. हां. सो इफ इट हॅज बीन टेकन विथ बार्बी, म्हणजे खूप काहीतरी ऑफिसमध्ये खूप टेन्शन किंवा दमलाय, खूप खूप फिजिकल एक्झर्शन झालंय, मेंटल एक्झर्शन झालंय, आणि येता येता कुठेतरी हॉटेलमधून दारू पिऊन आला, एक दोन पेग घेऊन आला. आता एक दोन पेगनी माणूस मरणार आहे का? त्याने काही टॉक्सिक इफेक्ट होणार आहेत का? नाही. पण तो घरी आल्यानंतर झोप येत नाही म्हणून एखादी झोपेची गोळी पण घेतली. सो दिस एका झोपेच्या गोळीनी मारणार नाही आणि एक दोन पेग अल्कोहोलनी मारणार नाही. पण इफ दिस टू थिंग्स आर टेकन ॲट अ टाइम, it can cause some deleterious effect on the body, what we call it as synergism. So this way the clinical features will start. Okay, today we'll stop here. We will go to the stages after stages during this alcohol poisoning: stage of excitement, stage of incoordination, and stage of narcosis. We'll see it tomorrow. Okay, today we'll stop here. It's nearly 45 minutes now, and I think you have got, it's 3:57. You have got lecture of Golap madam का lecture है ना अभी? Okay, okay, okay. Today we'll stop here. ओके देन, कळते का अल्कोहोल पॉयझन? आता ह्या 3 स्टेजेस ज्या आहेत ना, स्टेज ऑफ इनकोऑर्डिनेशन आणि त्या नार्कोसिस वगैरे, when I will explain these 3 stages, you will understand better that alcohol poison. So tomorrow we will see the stages of alcohol poisoning with alcohol. That we will see tomorrow. Okay then, bye. See you. Bye everyone. We'll see the remaining part of alcohol in tomorrow's lecture. Tomorrow, okay, I will take the lecture tomorrow at 3 p.m. only, because tomorrow there is exam of 4th year. Mathematical last oral is there for 4th year, but I will not be there in the college. Someone else has been appointed. I have appointed someone else for tomorrow's exam. So tomorrow I will be at home only. I will take the lecture at 3 p.m. Even if I don't share the link on the group, please everyone join at 3 p.m. तर बऱ्याच वेळ लक्षात राहत नाही ते लिंक शेअर करायचं. वेळेवर या 3 वाजता या सगळेजण. ओके देन, बाय, सी यू. आय विल एंड द मीटिंग फॉर ऑल. थँक यू. थँक यू.